Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and of course, good year. How are we beginning this 2021? Um, as you may see, I hadn't moved since yesterday night until now, so that's why I'm dressed exactly the same because I actually didn't do anything. so uh, and and well, thank you everybody for all the messages that I've been receiving. And I read all that I could. Um, and what did I say? What I said? I forgot. I forgot what I said in Spanish. Sorry. um, well, basically, ready to begin with this new cycle, and thank you for your messages, and that's it. This today we begin with the Capricorn, the Capricorn month. So Capricorn is a month of work. So remember that this month is ruled by Saturn, and this is because what we explained yesterday, that in the end of the year, the Roman culture used to celebrate the Saturnalia, and Saturnalia is like the celebration of Saturn. Saturn is the god of agriculture, is the one related to the earth, the one that is tilling, it says, the land. It's about the work, about the harvest. So they were asking for Saturn for a new good harvest for the next year. And of course, Saturn is related with the constellation that affects this month, December and January, which is Capricorn. So the month of Capricorn, the constellation of Capricorn, is related to the hard work of Earth, to be patient on do the things with a lot of time. So we are going to be so the concept is to work the land. This is why this month the concept of the I am related to the Capricorn energy will be the I use. I use. So the energy of Capricorn is related to the hard work of Earth, and so it's very low. The process of the Earth is very low. For example, related to the work of the land, when you go to plow the lands, from the moment you plow the land until the moment you harvest the fruit, there are many stages, and you have so many things to do in the middle. Okay, like you plow the soil, you put the seed, you take care. Sorry. You take care of the seed, you water the seed, then you have to take care of the insects and so on. So until you harvest something, it can take months. Okay, many things. Will take a long process. And of course, in this energy of work, is something that for sure we all know about the energy of Capricorn, which is that working so hard, the land, the fields, for so long, when the result is not what you were expecting, it gets the frustration and you don't know what to do and so on. You need so for Capricorn energy is the hard worker, is the one that says the work never ends. We have to look for perfection all the time. So we have always some conflict with what we have done. The team could be better, the work could be better, the results could be better. We always think as Capricorn people, the Capricorn people used to think always that it's not enough, that nothing is really enough, that we have to do it better, that we have to do it in a different way. So that's why it's so hard for the Capricorn people to enjoy a result, because the process is very low and kind of you always think that it can be better. So so the difference between the earth signs, basically, to understand how the Capricorn is, when we have the other ones, Virgo and Taurus. Virgo is the one that is organized, and everything that it does is on service to the others. So it's organizing everything for the rest of the people. And Taurus is the one that only does a really hard work if it's going to have a benefit. Like, okay, I will do the job, I will do it perfectly, but if the results will be that I can live properly, that I can live happily, that I can have everything that I need, and if there is no rewards on that, so Taurus will just sit on the ground and rather sleep or eat instead of wasting energy if there is no comfort on the result. But Capricorn is the one that will say, there is never a comfort result. It doesn't matter what we do. You take the list of Virgo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it just tries it in a very long way, like months or years. And even if Capricorn does this, the result for them will be always wrong. Like, we can do it better. I'm not comfortable with the results. So the month of Capricorn is the one that through this 30 days, this month, the energy of Capricorn will tell us maybe the results that you were expecting for this year are not what they really are. So maybe we were expecting this year to be different, but no, the process is very slow, and maybe nothing really changes, and maybe the tools that we were using were not the best ones. So we have to rethink about everything that we have done, about our tools, the tools that we have. We have to change the ways in which we were doing the things. That would be. So this month of Capricorn is related mainly with structures and patterns, to build them and to destroy them. So also, important thing, Capricorn is related to the structures and patterns, but not how to destroy them exactly, mainly how to build them, because Capricorn is about building. It's about building the structures. Okay, so when we in the collective consciousness today, we have this idea that we have to change the patterns, that we have to erase the patterns, that we have to get rid of the structures, all these kind of things. But that's not what we are going to work in Capricorn. In Capricorn, we are going to work with how to build the structures, how to give the importance to the structures, how to understand why we need structures and patterns. Okay, that's the goal of Capricorn this month. The one that will destroy everything will be our neighbor Aquarius. The next month, Aquarius will say, I don't give a shit about all this structure, so let's destroy everything that you have created before. So to create new things. Okay, so that would be Aquarius next month. But before we do that, we have to understand what is the importance of Capricorn. Okay, what is the importance of the structures, of the patterns. So take a deep breath, all you who are the signs of water, air, and fire, because now we are going to dive into patterns and structures. So first of all, pattern. What it means, pattern. We have spoken about this, but pattern comes from the Indo-European languages, from pater, that means the protector, the one that holds, that protects. So that's why the origin of father is pater, okay, the name father, which was the one that protected the family. The pater familias is the one that took care of the group, of the tribe. So in the as you may see, pater is not a name related to dad. Okay, at the beginning, it's related to the one that protects. But then after that, the in the families in the past, they used the concept of pater to refer to the man that was taking care of the family. Okay, so so that would be the reason why pater become the way in which you call that. So when we speak about pattern, we speak about things that protect us. So things that makes us feel safe. So all these defenses that we start to create, these patterns that we create, we start to put one over the other to create like a barricade, to create like a house, like a place where we can take care of our weakness, protecting ourselves from the outside. And all this began in a time where we had no order in our lives. We had no governments, we had no society. So it began in a moment where we needed these shields to protect ourselves, because the animals could kill us and eat us. The people that were hunting there can hunt us too. So it was so complicated, so difficult, that all we could think about was to protect ourselves. So this means that everything that we start to put one over the other, all these things around to protect ourselves, is the ones that we call patterns. So the thing is that we had so many different kind of patterns. The patterns that we have, they are structured in physical, emotional, and mental. Okay, so for example, one pattern that we all have, and that is physical, is to dress up, to have clothes. Why? Because we felt that we were vulnerable in the ancient times, so we need to protect ourselves because the body was so weak that we need to protect the genitals, the chest, the belly, everything, because of the weather, because of the animals, or whatever. So we started to create these coats of leather. We started to create these tissues around us to cover us. So this created the idea that I will be protected if I dress up. And that's what created the culture that by dressing up, with depending on the color, depending on the ways you dress, the texture, whatever, it depends in one thing or another. Okay, it's like we are like protecting ourselves from the weakness that we have inside. So in the emotional level, when we go to the emotional level, all the emotional patterns are created because of the tribes. Why? A tribe is it's a Latin word that comes from tribu. Tribu is like a group of three. So sometimes the cities were divided in three, or the families were divided in three main subjects. So individuals. So this tribe is related to mom, dad, and the kid, okay, living together. So in order for the tribe to survive, they need to create these bonds, emotional links, bonds. So you could be all together, because if they split as family, they would get killed, or they would have less opportunities to survive in the nature. So they created these links between each one of them, so we could survive. So for example, in the ancient times, you would have some fear to, I don't know, the sunset, because there was a real threat outside, which is, I don't know, a big tiger, for example. So the tigers can kill you because they see in the night and we cannot see in the night. So this family, this tribe settles this pattern that when the sun is in the horizon, we go all to the cave and nobody gets out. So thousands of years later, we have the same problem that, I don't know, our family says, it's night, you're not going to go out. And you say, but why? I have this conflict with my dad or my mom, arguing with them because they don't let me go outside during the night with my friends. And they said, no, because something could happen to you, you know. So that's a pattern. That's a very old pattern since the time that we lived in the caves, and that still goes on. Okay, so that's an emotional pattern that we have with the links that we created to survival. Then we have the patterns of the mind, and the patterns of the mind, for example, we have many patterns of the life, of the mind here. Like, for example, we have, for sure, most of you here working in the consciousness. Some of you make yourself call light workers or light warriors. But why? That it's a pattern. That is a pattern because the pattern comes from very old existence, very old reality, which is that humans live through light. That in ancient times, humans wake up at the dawn, at the sunrise. When there's a sunrise, the light comes, so you can work again, harvesting or so on. So you follow the light, the path of light through the sky. So you say, I am following the light, okay? And the other ones were hunting. So they were to hunt, so they were light warriors. And this is an idea that we have been receiving since the very beginning of humans being light workers and light warriors, because we were following the light of the sun. But this doesn't work in other planets. This doesn't work for the people that is living in the depth of the ocean, for the animals that only go out during the night. This is just a belief that we have. Todo lo que nosotros hacemos y vemos es una creencia. Todo. Everything that we do, that we express, is a belief. So everything that we do is a pattern. Everything that we do is a pattern, yes, because in the physical, in the emotional, and in the mental, every pattern of belief that we have has been created since the very moment of the creation, thousands and billions of years ago, just trying to survive. And what is a pattern? Something that protects me. So patterns were made to protect yourself so you can still be alive. So from this point of view, are patterns something wrong? No. From the point of view of Capricorn, the patterns are no bad. The patterns are the clue, the reason why we exist. If the earth wouldn't have created all these patterns, we wouldn't have survived. We wouldn't have been here. It's because of all these patterns through millions of years that the Capricorn energy has been creating for us through thousands of years, very patiently, putting one pattern, the other pattern, and trying to make it perfect so we can be, like, yes, the essence is protected by all these patterns. So patterns are not bad. It's okay. So all these patterns are connected. All these patterns are connected in a network. This network is the one that we call matrix. Okay? The matrix is a network of patterns that helps us to connect with everyone outside. So it wouldn't be because of this network of patterns, the matrix that we are creating, we wouldn't be able to speak one another. For example, you are there and I am here because we are full with patterns. Otherwise, you are not gonna be able to understand me, and I wouldn't be here. When someone doesn't have patterns, it's those kind of people that you cannot talk anything, or that we say it's crazy or it's lost or whatever. It's like you don't understand the language, you don't understand anything, you cannot resound. All these patterns in the matrix are the ones that helps you to connect on a network with everyone. So they are useful. So we have been through a process in which patterns and matrix has been treated like very in a negative way. I don't know where it started. I don't know what was the point where people started to take this as a bad thing. But the problem of patterns and matrix is because we don't know how to use them. It's not the patterns and matrix. Okay, it's because we don't know how to use them. That's the main problem that we have. Okay, so the gathering of all these patterns, of all these tools, is what we call a structure. A structure is something. A structure comes from the Latin word struere, that means to put many things together. And so a structure is to put all these little tools that we call patterns all together in a way in which you can feel stable, like stability, to find stability in your life, in whatever. So patterns create structures of thinking. So this means that we are basically a structure of beliefs, that everything that we have in our minds, in our reality, the way in which we live, is constantly a network in a matrix that is structured with many patterns of beliefs. I hope you are following where I'm going. Let's go now into something that I spoke a long time ago, which is the perception of things. Everything that you perceive, every senses, the touch, the sight, the smell, everything is not real. It's just a perception of your brain interpreting data from the outside. But it's not really what you are feeling or perceiving. It's what your brain is believing or thinking. Acknowledging this, we will recognize that everything that is in the outside is just a perception of the inside. So what this means, that everything that I am using to protect myself from the existence is just an idea of my mind, a perception. So this is that the network of patterns is not much more than other thing than a network of beliefs. So if all this is a network of beliefs, the only possible thing that really exists is the one that believes. And who is the only one able to believe, to be a believer, is the mind. Mind is the only one. So basically everything that exists in the universe, every structure and pattern and network, is a product of an illimited mind, eternal mind, that decided to limit itself. So why an eternal, illimited mind would find limits? Basically, the reason why it looks for limits is because an illimited mind cannot find, it can only imagine but cannot create, because it doesn't have patterns to create. So a limited mind, and by limited we are speaking about patterns, is able to manifest the thoughts. So basically, the existence, this is possible because of the structures and patterns of Capricorn. So why do we say, I want to get rid of my structures and patterns in life? The reason why we are willing to break with all these patterns is because there's a moment when living inside a house that everyone has been saying, you have to be here protected, don't go outside because the house is the only one able to protect you. And there's something inside that says, no, but I want to open the door and go outside and to play, to see things, to watch other, to travel, to have new experiences. I need to do that. So we usually have this conflict when we say we have to get rid of the patterns. When we have this house where we were stuck inside and we want to go outside, the energetical image that we can see when we say I have to get rid of the patterns, it's like if one day you just figure out that, oh my God, I now know that there's a world outside my house. So in order to see that world, I will take away the windows. I will break the windows, throw it away. I will kick the door. I will break the door, set fire to the door and the windows. And then also I go to the bed and I threw the bed on the balcony and put fire on it. I go to the kitchen, there's the grandma, and I take the grandma and kick the grandma through the window, and I also burn with a fire. So that would be the image of taking your patterns away. No, that wouldn't work like this. The only thing that you have to do in order to get rid of your patterns is just to make a copy of the key of the house and just open the door, go outside, go on a trip, and then you come back and everyone will be there and you can sleep in your bed. Like, kind of like that. So what Capricorn would say is, don't break the door of the house, don't break the windows, don't burn the grandma, okay? Because they have a meaning, they have a purpose there. So if you want to go somewhere different, to do something different because you are so tired of being in this house, so you can go out, you can have some Sagittarius friend and make a trip around the world, and then you can come back and you will have everything here. And when you go, I don't know if it happens to you, but when you go outside in a trip, you can see your life, your hometown, your family from a very different perspective. So you can see your home, your house from a different point of view. And that's why if you burn the house, if you just take it all into ashes, you won't have your roots, you won't have your tools, okay? So this is why throughout all this month, what we are going to do is to go through all these structures and patterns that we have created and that we maybe want to burn and to break and to get rid of it, but that we have to understand why it worked and why we have created. Because we created everything through our minds. And that is the first law and the unique law of the universe, mentalism, which is everything that exists in this reality, in every reality, is just a perception of the mind. That's mentalism. The last thing that I want to say about mentalism is that maybe we can make the mistake of thinking that the beliefs that through the mind we can create everything, that through the mind we can do whatever we want, and that we can just by thinking or putting the intention on it, you can create anything you want. But it's not like that. And that's what we are going to learn also through the Capricorn energy. So it's not about just thinking. We have to go deeper into the structure of the creation, because from the point of view of Pisces, maybe it's about to just think and imagine and all will happen and everything is possible. But from the point of view of our month today, it's all about, okay, we are here in this reality, we have a lot of structures, and you cannot create something from the beginning if you are the product of so many patterns and you have no idea what patterns are they. So you have to look for all the patterns, to be in peace with all the patterns, to acknowledge the structure, to see the tools. You have so many work to do, that let's work on it. Okay, so let's go to the information for today. The vibration for today is Ya. Ya, Ya. The statement for today: I am the stairs towards the divine. The code for today is the Buddhic plane. There are different consciousness levels in the universe, within which the Buddhic is one of the highest. This is because it's the plane of enlightenment, that in Sanskrit is Buddha. Here, there are no objectives, and the conscience is complete, acknowledging light in all things. It's not based on the doctrine of enlightenment, but in the grace of remembering that we are already light. In this plane lay the enlightenment that guide in darkness by simply being themselves. So just for you to have in mind, for all the air and water signs, that in order to download heaven on earth, to bring this information from the dreams, the imagination, to the ground, you need the structures. Otherwise, they won't be manifested in this reality. So this is why we have to work with Capricorn before Pisces and so on. Because the way in which then we will face the dreams of Pisces will be easier to manifest it here, to download it in this matter. Okay, today we begin with a new vibration. Sit comfortable, close your eyes. We focus in the breathing. Inspira profundo. Take a deep breath. Y allí donde me encuentro, there where you are, imagine that you are surrounded by a big library. Every one of its books is a pattern, a belief, and the structure is each one of the holes where you find the books. Recognize the structure of your beliefs. Walk around this library and pay attention if there are books on the floor, open books, if the holes in the path are organized or chaotic. Pay attention, because this library contains all the information of your own records in the subconscious, unconscious, and the conscious. Walk towards the books of your beliefs, and in between of them, find a book that calls your attention. Watch the shape of the book, the color of the book, the title, and the content. Recognize what is your biggest pattern of belief. The answer is in this book. Take this book with you and go through the hall, the main hall, until you find a very big stair. And up there is an office with a lot of light. Pay attention to the stair. Is that a clean stair? Is it easy to go up? Is it difficult? Is it empty or fill up with things? Recognize how this stair finds you. I recognize that I find myself in the floor of the subconscious, surrounded by all the books, all the patterns, since the very first human until me, all the data that made myself possible. The stair is the unconscious, the path that I have to take to the office of the conscience. And I will take this book with me so I can bring clarity to this pattern of belief that I have to change in me. I begin to go up through the stairs, step by step, being aware of each one of them. And in my path, I resound through the ascension to the consciousness. Yeah, As I arrive to the office of the conscious, I open the book in front of me, allowing the information to come to me, no judging, just perceiving emotions, colors, images, words. And I recognize that this pattern is part of my path towards my divinity. I am the stair to the divine. I am the stair to the divine. I am the stair to the divine. With my both hands, I hold the book and I take it open to my crown chakra. I set the intention to open the records of this belief, to set me free from that belief and use it in my own benefit. I use. I use. I use. I come back slowly here and now by bringing this consciousness all around my body, stretching the body, being aware of all the bones. So I remind you that from today and the next days, we will have our Akashic records opened to be aware of these patterns that we have to work with. Not to break the patterns or structures, but to be aware of them, to become conscious of how to use them. So today, the task would be to write down all those beliefs, the ones that makes us be who we are. What are those beliefs? So we will be working with today with the beliefs, and every day we will work with something different. Thank you everybody for being there, and see you tomorrow at the same time.